That hurt.
Blowjobs are a no for me.
It is a skill. It is a practice skill. It is a necessary skill. Ooh,
great
blowjob. The secret to a great blowjob is saliva, saliva, saliva.
It's important for us to learn from this because I think we lose because we beat ourselves.
You need to swallow it too.
I understand the problem here.
The people don't understand esophagus is the main player of the game.
Try to stay away from it as much as I can.
You can start by licking the tip.
I didn't understand it, but...
Patrick Ajimang to Bambi or a newborn giraffe or what?
All right, welcome to Straight Red Card. We've got dog barking in the background, apparently.
Ruff.
We don't understand. Please translate. Yeah, we got Herc call. No, we got Eric. No, we got Herc calling. Herc calling Pochettino, which we already knew, and then we got Eric saying, "Shut the f up," and then we got. Yeah, Haji Wright's not just a winger. No kidding. Like, he's been playing more centrally this all season, scoring like crazy. And we've got a collection of guys playing in the Champions League that some of them weren't that good. And then we got the fat article, right, as well. Fat. Mackenzie's fat.
Yeah. Well, that's all part of the Pochettino article. We'll get into that later.
But we said that at the time. He looked too big. He looked like he needed to lose some weight. And now we just got confirmation that when he came in, he was overweight, and Berhalter played him anyhow.
What is it? If I recall correctly, leading to the end of that season, he had an injury, and then the last 4 or 6 Juve games, he didn't start, and he got bit minutes, if I recall correctly.
I'm just trying to figure out how it's that hard as a professional soccer player to stay svelte with all the running they do. I was skinny as a rail when I played soccer.
Yeah, I could eat, I could eat like crazy.
I was.
Yeah, we always talked about it during 2 days. We would do our first practice, which was basically the run till you throw up practice, and then we after that we always went to this donut shop in our town called Tim's Pastries. Fucking delicious, by the way. And it was right when he was closing, and he'd sell you like a whole box full of donuts for like $1.
What the hell's up with the run till you puke thing? I never had to do that. That sort of idiocy must have come in later.
It's a fallback when you know that the squad you have at high school level is going to have to be more athletic than skilled, because half my team at the time either played what would be the equivalent of Rec Plus nowadays, or then the other half played some form of travel. So we were very much of the mind of if we aren't going to be able to out skill you on the pitch, we're going to outrun your ass.
Never thought that took till puking though, but that's just me. That's just me.
Looks like that endurance. And
all right.
2 days.
Yeah. So we're gonna take some of your calls, I suppose, today. We already got somebody up the bat. You want to start out right away, Brett? What the hell?
Yeah. So just the rehashing of how we do the call-in show. I do have the link. It's pinned at the top. I'm posting it periodically just in case people aren't looking at the pinned post. More than welcome to click on it. More than welcome to come in. Have your thought process down. What topic you're going to talk about, and we'll talk for a couple minutes and have to move on to the next person, depending on how many people are coming in, I guess.
Right. Don't do meth before coming on the show, please. All right.
Be interesting. Clip that shit.
Or in general, probably not a good idea. All right. We've got the one and only Fumar Mota on the show, brother. How are you doing? Cheers to you as well. Well, can't see it. There it is. All right.
How you guys doing, man?
Doing good. How about you, brother?
Pretty good. Pretty good. No real complaints. I mean, other than Poach, but other than that, no complaints. But I'm doing good, man. Good to connect with you guys.
Awesome. Same here. Your mic's a little
Yes.
muted.
It's
Really?
coming a little bit different than the previous times.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to hear you. Audio is fuzzy, as somebody said in the comments. Would that be Green Jason?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds
Okay.
like your mic is stuffed up somebody's private part. Is what it sounds
Well,
like.
why don't we do this? Well, let me try to fix my audio, and I'll just call back in if that's okay.
All right,
Sounds
no,
good,
that'd
man.
be perfect, man.
Yeah.
We'll see you
Okay.
soon. All right.
You guys back. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Hope that's not on our end. I don't think it is.
Well, I can hear you and you can hear me.
Yeah, we can all hear each other. Okay. Yeah, it sounded a little underwater, a little muffled, that kind of thing. So, all right. So I think we could talk a little about some of the Champion League games that were played, right? We had Hoppy. That was not Champions League, but he did get to play a cup game for Sonderjiski. And once again, because he doesn't get to play regular season games, he rides 90 for those. He came in and scored for the team in that 90. So that's he played 64. So that's good news. But this is a good breakdown by our friend Brian Schroeder. Very good. Wea, yes, he was very good.
Mm-hmm.
McKenny, yeah, I guess my standards are really up for McKenny, so I was kind of disappointed. Below average, Dest, well, I thought Pepe wasn't very good either. I thought the whole PSV team looked like crap. That's just my personal opinion. From what I expect from them, that was garbage. And then, yikes, Musa, Balogun, Pepe, Tillman. Yeah, bad. Tillman, I just got done watching that. That was atrocious. He got yanked in the 51st. It was poor, dude. Piss poor. But then you're losing to Copenhagen. You know, I don't know what's going on there. Like, I know you've lost some guys, but Copenhagen? Really? Total Soccer shows that Musa was fine. I thought he looked a little lost, honestly, but that was just me. He didn't look, which is understandable in some ways. He just got there, right? Throw him off the field. That's not going to be real comfortable. Then Cole Campbell was in the 18. He didn't go for Dortmund. Nathaniel Brown, really good. I thought he was great. Actually made me wish Nathaniel Brown had gotten a phone call and a call up already. An assist for him in that win for Frankfurt. Frankfurt absolutely dominated that game. I thought so too, Frank. I thought he didn't look really comfortable out there, Musa. And then finally, we already took on Tillman's stinker, and then Pepe and the whole PSV team looked like garbage. So not a great start.
Well, I think we found out why Baby Balogun was a yikes performance. They had to reschedule their flight.
Oh, I heard about the hot plane. Yeah. But come on. Once you're there, come on.
Dude, I've been on a plane with no airflow. We were waiting on the tarmac in Jamaica.
It's horrible. Yeah.
And it was fucking miserable.
Well, they didn't sit on the tarmac as long as you did. I can guarantee that.
Oh, no. They got right off and probably got a new plane immediately.
And they're professional athletes, so come on.
Reschedule, does it mean just get a new private plane?
No, I'm not sure. I am drinking again tonight 3 philosophers from Cooperstown, New York, and Omegang Gang Brewery there. 9.7 volume by alcohol, a blend of quadruple ale and creek ale with cherries. Tasty. Quite potable, distinctly potable. Oh, Brett's having to wave off children.
Well, it's like some people don't realize that on Mondays and Thursdays after 8:15, I'm live.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm talking on the show right now. Go away. Kids,
the joy of having children. All All right, do you want to see if Fumar's fixed?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's up real quick and then bring him in.
All right.
Hey.
All right, you
There we
sound
go.
great. You
Much
sound
better.
good now.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I was using the girlfriend's AirPod and it just wasn't working out. So
Yeah, they don't all transfer.
yeah, old school. Just go speakerphone with you guys. So
There we go.
That works. That works.
Yeah.
Sounds a lot better, yeah.
Yeah. So what do we got here, Brett? Before this is impossible choice for the rest of your life. You can only eat food from one of these regions. Which do you choose?
I think there's an obvious answer here.
I think I'm going to go with
Southeast Asia.
G. I'm going with G.
So Boomer D would be my second choice, but it's got to be G for me.
Yeah.
You got comfort food, you got barbecue, you got all the various Latin foods, the Mexican especially.
Yeah.
I live off of Mexican food.
Where are you falling? Where are you falling, Fumar? On this
What's
one?
that now?
Where are you falling on this one?
Probably Southeast Asia. I mean, just because there's enough variety, because I feel like, Mexican, it's basically the same food. They just like kind of they repurpose how the presentation. So after a while, I'd probably get tired of the Mexican and stuff. But I think with the Southeast Asian, and plus there's Australia, so I can barbecue. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. But I will say that G also includes half of the United States or more than, and only leaving out like Washington State, North Dakota, and the northern part of Michigan.
look at that, though.
And Maine.
Right on the northern border of Indiana. So we have pork tenderloins.
Yeah. I'm not sure what H has to offer at all, actually. You got Maine.
Poutine. Come on, man.
Maine lobster, maybe, and then whatever they eat in Canada.
Yeah, lobster, poutine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of wild game, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's up with you? What's on your mind?
I mean, really, not much, man. I mean, I really just wanted to commiserate about Poach. I mean, it's difficult to like monitor what the guys are doing in Europe because you can't really trust Poach. So. It's tough. Like, I want to be excited about Gio. Like, I think he had a really decent first outing for somebody that hasn't played in like a year.
Yeah.
But there's no rhyme or reason with Poach. Like, I can't figure him out. And and I know that you're a big fan of explaining Poach, or at least trying to explain Poach. But at this point, I don't see any rhyme or reason. Like, there's
the process.
There's no logic. I'm really big on logic, right? So, and as soon as something ceases to become logical, it becomes nonsense. And a lot of with Poach, it's a lot of like nonsense. Like, he says one thing about a player, but then he brings in another player that kind of meets the same criteria. Like, it's just a lot of that double talk that Berhalter was giving us. And I'm realizing, because I'm kind of new to the sport, but I think that every manager is kind of an egomaniac. I don't think there's such thing as a humble manager, except for maybe Marsh. But
no, don't get yourself there. Marsh is not humble either.
I mean, but
BJ's probably the closest thing, right?
Yeah,
he comes across pretty humble. I mean, when he was on Call It What You Want, he seems like he even had a LinkedIn. They were like giving him grief because as a manager he had a LinkedIn. He just seems like super down to earth and like malleable. Where everybody else, they seem like they're egomaniacs. So,
there's something to what you're saying. I mean, in order to lead a team of 28 guys, you got to have a little self-confidence, and some of that dips into certainly egomania. And as far as understanding him, I think right now he just gave us his last explanation, which was, well, as you know, in October, I can't really call up any of these MLS guys, so it's going to be mostly just the European guys. So if that's what he's saying, and that holds to be true, then this was his plan, I suppose, all along, to give this one last attempt at looking at MLS guys before we go back to the normal guys in October. And God help us, I hope that works out well, or some of them we may never see again. I mean, honestly.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, I really feel like this roster kind of picks itself, like the top. I mean, you could maybe stretch and say we're like maybe 30, 35 deep, but I think the top 23, the top 26, barring injury, it kind of picks itself. And then you can maybe make some variants with the 11. I mean, you can say, you know, do you want Johnny over Tyler? Do you want Tillman over Gio? You can kind of go stylistic, but realistically, we really have our top 23, 26 in the pool. And I think Poach just kind of thinks he's the smartest guy in the room.
Anybody
like the Midas
go ahead.
touch.
Anybody in particular worried about missing in October? They won't be there.
I mean, yeah. Everybody. I'm really worried about Gio. I don't know if he's in the plans.
I don't think so quite yet. No, because he's just gotten back. So I'd say give him a handful of games at Gladbach and see how he goes. Although I wouldn't complain if we started working him back in early.
Right.
You know, that was one way to kind of get guys reintegrated and actually give them a chance to continue to brush up on their play in the old days. I think the old days are over. But, yeah, I mean, okay, Gio, I'm trying to think maybe Tessman, you know, kind of a little
Yeah,
worried,
I mean, that whole midfield collective. I mean, I want to think that Johnny is there, but I'm not even a big Tessman and Aiden Morris fan.
Yeah.
But if you put a gun to my head, I'm going to choose them over Berhalter and Roldan, you know, so
yeah,
I mean, yeah, like that, just the whole European club. Where's CCV? Where's Trusty? Where's Mark McKenzie? You know, so just, and then Poach, he brought, you know, McKenzie in over the summer, didn't play him. He brought Haji in. I don't know if there was like the injury issue, but didn't play him. So it just doesn't make a lot of sense to bring, you know, you complain about European involvement, but then you don't start the Euro guys that you have that are clearly a notch above the MLS guys. And then the whole, you know, we have to see the MLS differently. You don't really assess talent by Europe to MLS, which I really think is just a bizarre thing for a top level coach to say. They say, I don't know much about soccer, but I know that there's a clear difference when I'm watching MLS and when I'm watching Champions League.
Absolutely right.
I think when it came to somebody like McKenzie in that sense, I think Poach may have been put off by the Switzerland game, and he had his pairing. He had his Richards and his Reyna. I mean, those are his two guys right now. That's where he's stick with now. Who falls into depth at that point? I don't know.
Didn't Arsene have a bad game? I mean, I don't, like I say, I just don't understand his criteria because it seems 1 minute.
So yeah, it's clear that he's got favorites, just on the mentality of how they approach the game and how they play. It's, you know, just the fact that you give effort, I think is going to win more points with him than, you know. I'm not saying that McKenzie doesn't put in the effort or anything like that, but the reason why Arsene is still there, one, he didn't have a backup left back really, but two, Arsene is nonstop run.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like the whole trap of the whole high energy, you know, run hard, play fast, like thing from like the early 2000s and 90s, and I kind of thought we moved, you know, past that as a program. I didn't expect you to pay Pochettino $6 million to revert back to a bunch of guys that just run around and try really hard, and we lose 3-0, 4-0, but everybody's happy because of the performance. Like we're not at that level anymore. And I mean, I think we're paying Poach too much money for him to be experimenting with MLS guys that we're watching get, you know, ate up. You know, Blackman, that was horrible. You know,
yeah, the first Blackman experience was certainly horrible. Excuse me. I would just add this though. I mean, there was a point where a lot of us out there were pretty pissed at the A-team guys, and I would probably garner that Poach was probably pissed at them too.
We'll find out about that later. I do have a quote for that.
For some poor play and not coming in completely fit, and you know, he just said, "Hey, there's something going wrong here." So I'm going to just go out and try some other guys and screw these dudes for a while. They can just sit and watch, which is, I think, what happened. To think, I hope Eric Ronaldo's right in saying, hey, hold on now, guys. You know, once the World Cup roster's named, it'll be the guys mostly that you wanted to see in the first place. But remember,
here's the big thing: we're not paying him $6 million to change the culture and change the aspect of our team. He doesn't have time to do that.
It's ridiculous.
You can't just make blanket changes in a short amount of time just with the seniors. You can change how they address things. So like he talked about, you guys just want to come here, visit family, play golf, go out to eat.
Right.
Well, that's over with. Now he's setting an example. He's set the example, and he's going to bring in. He's going to start reintegrating the EA squad. You'll see as
Hopefully.
time progresses, as we get closer and closer to the World Cup, it's going to look more and more like a standard 18, maybe with a favor or 2 or 3.
Yeah, Arson probably be in there, maybe a Luna, something like that.
We talked. We also mentioned the how the reverting back to the culture of playing fast, playing quick, and counter and all that stuff from like the 90s and early 2000s. I always look back at that and say, well, we had an identity. We had an identity as far as we would, try to be defensively sound. We'd break off on the counter, quick transitions, get the ball up the pitch, and create opportunities.
Yeah.
Klinsmann came in, started, shuffling the whole. We need to find an identity. Well, we had an identity. Just fine tune the identity. Well, all of our player pool from U6s all the way up play a very similar style because those are the coaches from the youth that develop all the way up. We can't change that from the top down. We got to change from the bottom up.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah. You're not going to get somebody for 2 years that's going to change all that.
I don't remember who said it, but we didn't pay you $6 million to come here and tell us that we don't know anything about soccer and the culture needs to be changed.
Yeah, I mean, and then going to college football games and talking about which is ironically the closest thing that we have in culture to European soccer, I believe, is college football, because like as Americans, our culture, we fall in love with stars, so we follow players from team to team, and I think that's foreign in Europe. They're maybe born in the town, and maybe their great grandfather, their grandfather has like rooted for a team for like their entire life, where we kind of like bounce around. So I don't want to go on a tangent, but I was just saying, like, it's weird for Poach to go to a college game and then absorb all that, and then go an Ohio State game, and then have a game in Columbus and be talking about the culture and the atmosphere. I did want to say one thing that I don't want to monopolize, but I do think that the fellas are getting a bad rap, and I think it's easy to scapegoat the players, because these are the same guys that beat Jamaica. These are the same guys that never lost in Nations League, the defending Gold Cup champs. Now, granted, the Gold Cup team, the makeup was a little bit different, but the players have performed. They've already proven to us that they can win trophies, that they can dominate this region. They're the constant. The variable is Berhalter and Pochettino. So all of a sudden, instead of focusing on Pochettino and his call-ups and his tactics, we're talking about players and their likability, and if they're doing donuts on golf carts and all that other stuff. Well, we should be talking about Poach's call-ups and his ability to take what is like a pretty decent team that fared pretty well in Qatar and take them to the next level. That's what he's getting paid to do. Like, we don't want to see Blackman and Roldan and all these weird call-ups. Like, take the 26 that we have and turn them and make them enable them to punch above their weight. That's really all we can ask for a manager to do. And I think Marsh is going to be our biggest regret, because he would have had us punching above our weight the way that he has Canada doing.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to say that at least Marsh knew the pool and he knew it really well. And so that would have been an easier transition in some ways. It's a grand experiment I don't agree with on Poach's end, and I don't think it's going to really benefit that much the closer the World Cup gets. And I mean, we did have kind of the standard guys we thought we knew were always going to be on the team, and now that's kind of at risk. And he's saying, nobody's guaranteed a spot on this team. And managers always say that, but I almost feel like sometimes he might mean it, and that scares me a little. Now, if Weston comes in 15 pounds overweight, I mean, I understand you got an issue with that. If other guys are up, constantly playing golf or whatever, you don't like that, and they do it anyhow, well, I guess I've got a problem with that. So, we did not bring him in here for culture change. We did not bring him in here to tell us that we need more soccer fans in the stands. No shit, Sherlock, no kidding, dude. No, really? You just noticed that? You just figured that out? Yeah, so pretty stupid.
The last thing I'll mention on this is that article we're going to cover later. Poach talks. There's a quote from an insider that talks about how after the Canada match, even though Poach kind of fell on that grenade or whatever, he was absolutely furious with the team. And then after that, immediately after that, you saw a shift in who was being called in because it went from Nations League to Gold Cup. And you saw a lot of faces that were left off. Obviously, Club World Cup was there. And we talked about, well, is Poach sending a message? And we all kind of agreed, for the most collectively, that he was for the during the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
People were expecting to go back to the A squad in September. I kind of mentioned that I think he's still going to kind of lean into it. Derek, you and I talked about half of the Gold Cup squad was probably going to be there in September, which was pretty accurate.
Right.
And it is, quite frankly, I think it still is a sending the message type of mentality. And
whether you agree with that or not,
yeah, but we don't have time for that.
No, and that's the issue too. Yes.
Yeah. We don't. And not only that, it would be one thing if he was spinning straw into gold, and we were watching the C and B team like play above their heads and out of their minds. But we're getting whooped by everybody. He just got his first win against Japan's B team, and everybody's ecstatic. My feet are firmly planted on earth. Like, I'm not excited about beating Japan. I'm really worried about our call-ups. I'm really worried about the cohesion. I'm worried about infighting. So if you spent a better part of 4, 5, 6 months presenting MLS as equal, or just as good as, and I just don't think we're getting the proper investment for the $6 million. So I'm extremely disappointed at this point. I think, I'm not longing for Berhalter. I just think we swung for the fences and somebody caught the ball at the wall. Poach wasn't the answer.
Well, as Poach tells us, Spoomar, you got to wait for the World Cup.
Trust the process.
That's when we need to start winning, he said. That's when we need to start winning. Okay, buddy.
Hey, it worked for Morocco. So I'm not a hater. So I'm not rooting against the guys. It's just, like I said, I'm big on poker. So I'm really big on odds and calculating, probability versus possibility. And there's a difference between the two. Yep. And there's a possibility that Poach is going to do things differently and we're going to achieve success. But there's not a high level of probability. So, that's of his own doing. He did this. He designed this. So we're laying in the bed that Poach made.
Well, if he falls down flat, the only problem is it won't really affect his career much, but it'll hurt us quite a bit. So I don't know if he realizes that, because he's asking his guys to come in with the chip on their shoulder. But is he bringing one? Sounds like to me, he can't have one because he's not invested in this any further than the World Cup. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Ouch.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys, man.
Thanks, Umar. Have a great night, man.
Jumping on,
okay.
Man. Appreciate that.
For sure.
All right. Take care, brother. All right.
All right, Green.
Green Great Basin, who is also Breck Shea, apparently. Is that Breck Shea?
Yes, Breck Shea. Is this tax alt account?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, the GOAT. Yeah, what's up? Good evening.
Hey, good evening, man. How are you?
Hey, what's up? I actually don't know. I asked a while ago when's the next call in, but I actually don't even have any questions. I just joined, but actually, I just want to say I'm on my last. This is the last straw. This is the last chance that I'm probably gonna give this national team. If I see either Arston, Ajiman, Berhalter, Nepo baby Berhalter, or Blackman, Tristan Blackman, dude, I'm gonna go support Fiji. I'll go support Chad. I'll go support Paraguay.
When you say see them, do you mean in the World Cup or do you mean here in October?
No, October and the World Cup.
Okay. Yeah.
We're likely to see Berhalter. We're likely to see. No, never mind. October.
No, we're not.
It's different.
Yeah.
Right. You're right.
Yep. Nope. October, we're not going to probably see any guys that are making the playoffs that play in MLS. You're going to only be able to see probably Turner because the Rebs are awful.
Yeah, I was. I watched the LAFC versus Real Salt Lake game the other.
I did too.
And man, dude, Diego Luna did not have a good game.
No, he did not.
And like LAFC, like they're all right, but like they're not that. They're not the big team in the West right now. It's Vancouver and with
San Diego, isn't it?
Yeah, San Diego, the new San Diego franchise. But like they don't have it like that,
Right. No, I agree, but the
but
Sun's really brought a boost to them. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that like I don't really believe like a lot of the Luna push. It's kind of getting cringe now.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see why you might feel that way if he hasn't really put on a show versus any of the better teams that we've played, U.S. men's national team wise. And then there is still the issue on occasion in MLS where he just didn't show up. I will say in both occasions, RSL didn't show up. The whole team didn't. And then for the U.S. men's national team, when he played bad, everyone seemed to play pretty bad. So it's kind of hard to say sometimes what's going on there. Is he ready for the next level? I'm not sure if he knows he is either, because I think if he did, he'd be pursuing it a lot harder than he is now.
Well, he did mention like I don't know who he in an interview or press conference or whatever. He did mention like, oh yeah, he said like, oh yeah, I want to write it out in MLS.
Yes, he did.
I don't want to, switch clubs
before the World Cup.
Yeah, before the World Cup. And it's crazy. It's like I know like. I actually really like him a lot. He's actually from where I'm from.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I just don't really think he's that good enough to be like to go up against like a Holland or a Belgium or Italy or
he certainly
like
isn't
Morocco.
Yet. Yeah, he's not ready for that yet.
And then now, like, because I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but like any USMNT player that plays in MLS, they get like I don't know if you've noticed, but like they do like a simple trick or a goal, and then they get like 5 posts on USMNT, Twitter or like Facebook and Instagram. They get like tons of cross posts, like because they're trying to push it. I understand that.
Yeah.
But there was a post, I think like a couple of days ago. It was like it was about his hair. I'm like, dude, like it's been like a while since he's been scored a goal. He scored a goal recently, like I think just not that long ago, but like man, like it's weird seeing like the push. I know, MLS, USSF or our USS, yeah. It's they're intertwined or whatever, but like I don't know. I just don't want to sound like a D1 hater, like tactical manager, like oh man, get this. But yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like the push for these MLS players, and it's kind of weird. And I actually I really like MLS. Like my team, like I wouldn't say like any player on my team would get into the USMNT. Like I wouldn't push any of them because they're just not that good enough. But like anytime there's like any like simple criticism of a player, you just get like their fan bases like just attacking you, and you get like over ratioed by likes, and then just like I had like a weird DM from a Seattle fan when I criticized Roldan's like as like he sent me, like 3 paragraphs. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. You're gonna get that, and that's fine. And Brett and I have supported MLS and been fans of MLS basically almost since its inception. And, we've tracked it and we've watched it from a complete joke of a league for the most part, where we had soap stars playing on teams like LA Galaxy. Soap stars. I get it. He played like 3rd division South African football, but seriously, that was a stunt. And then, the league has made some leaps and bounds since Beckham came, and we've had Garber go around the owners with Tam and Gam because they wouldn't raise the bar on pay, the salary cap. So I think it has gotten better. I think not enough people will say that, but I think the other point that is getting brought up more is the best players in MLS, and it's true, are not Americans. Just go look at the assist stats and the goal stats. That's really the problem. And that a lot of our younger players don't get much playing time on these teams. And that's a problem too. How are they supposed to develop when you won't play them? So, I think MLS Next Pro, whatever that's supposed to mean, I think it's not really been a big success. And there are players in MLS who openly talk about and admit the fact that this is a problem. There's some teams that don't start a single American in their starting lineup. That's just the fact. So
yeah,
Vermes was on a podcast about a month ago, I think it was, where he's basically waxing his porpoise to MLS Next Pro. It was a great thing when that came into fruition. Like, yeah, it was great. Removing our two teams where you had younger kids playing grown adults who were fighting for their last opportunity to play professional soccer and get paid to do so. And it's great that they're playing against other kids their own age. It's awesome sauce.
Yeah,
one thing I want to
USL.
One thing I wanted to mention about Luna, you guys were talking about how he's like he didn't want to leave. He didn't want to transfer from a team before the World Cup. I don't think he won't have an opportunity to. Because nobody's going to come over and fork over the big bucks that Real Salt Lake and MLS is going to require in January. The only time that's going to happen is going to be in the summer window, which will be after the World Cup.
Yep.
So if he goes to the World Cup and shines, then he might have some offers knocking.
And let's be really honest, there were no offers really of any substance for Lunas that he had to even think about. So listen, he's got a long way to go. He's a young player still. He's got a lot of growing to do. And will he ever be good enough to be the guy you want to start against Holland? I don't know yet. Right now, my feeling is question marks. And I do think there's been, as you said, a pretty substantial push to push him into the limelight and make him a star overnight, which I frankly don't think helps him at all. Because now every game, everybody's got their eyeballs on him. And when he's not playing well, they're like, well, I thought this guy was good, but he didn't play well today. Almost better to kind of be in the shadows and just have a really good game on occasion. People not overhype you, right? So quickly. So
yeah, he gives like a lot of 2022 World Cup qualifying vibes, or like Ricardo Pepi 2022 vibes, where he was really like important in the qualifiers, but he's probably not going to end up on the World Cup squad. That's the vibes he gives me. I don't know how to explain it, but
it is Poach though, so you never know.
I think this is like a lot of like fluff, because Poach has coached Harry Kane, Lionel Messi, Mbappe, Son.
I hope you're right.
It's crazy. Like he can't recognize like they're like I'm not a Euro snob, but like these players are really not at that level. Like they're really not, and I like the Earthquakes. I like watching them, but there's nobody on that team that can really go up against, play at the biggest stage in the world.
Maybe coach it, Bruce Arena. That's about it.
Yeah, maybe the coach. Yeah, he's an old man, so he's kind of just stuck in his ways. So.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the call. I do think that, I think being concerned and maybe a little cynical about whether or not, Luna's being pressed too hard. And I also think being cynical about whether or not he's going to really pick the best players in the end. I think I still have a little bit of question on that and who he's going to bring in. And I hope you're right. I hope he makes an honest assessment. And I don't know. I know we're going to find out, aren't we? After October. So
real quickly though, Green Great Basin, if you had to pick a letter for food that you have to eat for the rest of your life, which one you picking?
Probably D.
Okay, that seems pretty popular.
Because there's like Japan, India,
South Korea.
Yeah.
Indian food, yeah, for sure. Even Vietnamese food's really good too. Chinese,
Vietnam.
Yeah.
I
Really good
said
food.
in the chat, I go, "Man, who the fuck is going to pick A? Yeah,
Yeah.
you get England, you got France, and I guess someone pointed out you do have some of Germany. So I mean,
They eat
okay.
whale over there, no?
Yeah, a little bit of whale. You got France in there somehow
Iceland.
in A.
Yeah.
Look at A. You got France in there. That's something.
For
But-
life, eat nothing but.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. It's overpriced and small portions. All right. Thanks for calling, my man. Thanks for calling.
All right. Bye-bye. Thanks for letting me speak.
Oh, our pleasure.
Oh, man.
All right. Peace.
Later. All right,
What's up,
Will.
Hey, Brett. Hey, Derek.
Hey, how are you, man?
I'm all right. What about you guys?
Well, we're always
Whatever.
good here. Yeah. A little overworked. Maybe a little, well, Brett has kids, so, his life's not perfect. So, you know how that goes.
Yeah, I feel that.
So what's up, man? How are you?
I'm okay. So I saw you were doing a call-in show. I've actually never joined for one of these, but I've wanted to actually hop on something like this for a while now.
Yeah.
Because I've been following, like the USMNT Twitter community for like a good 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
And I remember my senior year of high school, actually, this was 2022. So like before the World Cup, I'd go home from school. I like shower and I play y'all's like weekly show while I'm showering. So it was like a big part of like my end of high school stuff and whatnot.
Awesome.
So and kind of like, I think it's really interesting because at that time I was like super, super locked in on this team. So I was born like in 2004, right? So I'm 21. Allegedly, I watched the 2006 World Cup. That's what my mom said. I don't remember that personally. But I do remember 2010, 14, the one we didn't make in 18, and of course 2022, right?
Yeah.
Like this team has been like a big part of like my life so far. Especially 2014 onwards, because between 2010 and 2014, like I only watched World Cups. But after 2014, after that World Cup, I got really, really back into like club soccer and watching it. And like the national team was also like a big part of me. Like I've always been a national team first kind of guy. Like I think that was just like, especially culture in my family, like getting to watch the US play was like a big part for us. Because like my dad, he followed clubs, a lot of EPL back when he was in Vietnam. But when he moved over here, like he kind of like, I guess he got bored or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So whenever it was World Cup season, that's when the entire family would like watch together and whatnot. And it's like weird because I feel like in 2014, like the squad we had, we had of course like the big five dual nats. So it was Timothy Chandler, Jermaine Jones, John Brooks, Fabian Johnson, and how am I forgetting him? He scored the goal for us.
Landon Donovan. No, not Landon Donovan.
Dual
sorry.
nats, you mean, right?
The German American that scored against Belgium. I always forget his name.
Green.
Yeah. Julian, yeah.
I think like it was interesting because I feel like around those years we're hyping up a lot of like like mid-tier prospects and shit like that. Like Zalalem was one that like we were really excited about for a short period of time. But then around 2017, 2018, I got really hyped for this team. Ironically, even though we didn't qualify, right? Because we had the McKennies, we had the Pulisics.
Too young.
Yeah, like too young to contribute to that cycle.
And then too old as well.
I mean,
we were too young and too old. There was no players in that 25. There weren't enough of them. 28.
Yeah.
Pulisic was what, like 16, 17, and still had 7 goals and some odd assists in that the qualifiers.
Yeah.
McKinney came immediately after the 2018 cycle.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, he was after. Yeah.
And like I think that 2015 U20 cycle was the squad with like Zach Steffen, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Emerson Hyndman, Leiden Gooch, right? And then 2017 was the iteration with like Bobise, Josh Sargent, De La Torre, I think, and Brooks Lennon.
Yeah,
I was like,
about right. Yeah,
I was like 12, 13. I was like incredibly locked in. I thought it was
right.
And then 2020 comes around, and like that's when I really get excited, right? Like Gio Reyna is starting to play for Dortmund. He's like assisting in Champions League matches. You have Matthew Hoppe the year after, scoring 6 goals for like a garbage Schalke team.
Yep.
Last time he scored a goal.
I was like super excited for this team, right? And like for years, I've been like trying to get my family back into following U.S. soccer because like everyone in my area is like, bro, we're so shit. Why do you care?
Good luck, yeah.
And I was like, no, like look, we got young players going up. Like the next generation's good. And then I feel like the World Cup 2022, of course, not a disaster, but like we could have done better. I still feel shit thinking about that loss to the Dutch team because I'm actually like I really like Dutch soccer. That was not a good Dutch team. I remember you having a show specifically.
Yeah.
You two talking about how like this is not was it like your old mom's Dutch team is what you guys said.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it's like yeah, like because like if you compare it to like the 2014, 2010 iterations of that squad, the defense got a lot better, but the offense was a lot worse.
Right. No, I agree.
Percy, no Wesley Sneijder, no Arjen Robben.
Yep.
And just felt like it's like I don't know what Greg was smoking that day. This guy decided to start Jesus Ferreira up top, and he's like basically playing deep line playmaker for like the Dutch team. But like even after that match, I was still like, like I was like, okay, I mean, sure, not the best World Cup, but not a disaster. We have Copa coming up. We have home soil in 4 years, right? Like it could be worse.
Yep.
And I'm at the point where like I barely like even care anymore.
It's tough. It's tough. I think if you've been through the ups and downs that we have, where I have specifically since I was 10 years old, I think, you're talking about 44 years of going through that. So I'm kind of immune to it. I'm not saying I don't have an emotional investment in it. I do, but I've learned to kind of have a box where I put it in and then I can take it back out again. I think it is tough because you do get really emotionally invested and then you're disappointed and it's hard to not, just dump it all together. Right. So yeah, I think you just got to figure out how to deal with that specifically. And if you're busy like Brett, you have a bunch of kids, that's kind of easy to do because you've got all kinds of other things in your life that are priorities.
Another shot.
Yeah, another shot.
Fun soccer fact here. Derek was actually at the first World Cup in attendance.
The very first one,
1930 something, whatever. How much did the tickets cost back then compared to now?
They were a quarter.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that like AI video? Was it FIFA that posted that video? It was like how the original World Cup final would have gone. I forgot like where I found that. Shit was so weird.
I've not seen that now.
No, I missed that one. But yeah, I get it, dude. I mean, I think you're just gonna have to hang in there. This looks really bad right now, but then again, kind of in a way, we were worried about Klinsmann for a good while, and that ended up working out all right. Especially after he dropped Donovan, we were all like, "Okay, this guy's out of his mind." Yeah. But okay, it still worked out, And ultimately, as you say, I think these players, at least, they're not a golden generation. So let's not kid ourselves about that. But there's a lot of good players out there right now doing things that no other players have done before. Like how many players played in Champions League? McKennie, Campbell, Weah, Balogun, Brown. They're not going to count Brown, I guess. Chandler was on the squad at least. Musa, Tillman, Pepe, they didn't all play very good. All of them did not play well. But it is a massive change then. Oh my God, DeMarcus Beasley's playing in the Champions League. What a miracle. We've come a long way from that.
Johansson, like scoring goals for was it like where was he before 2014 again? When like he was like getting hyped.
Well, yeah, he was in Holland, but people forget often that his downfall really wasn't his play. It was his injuries. And so I saw an article today about his downfall. I'm thinking his downfall? Like it wasn't on him. Like his body quit. In fact,
I know. I didn't read it, but I saw what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at one point he considered retiring because they didn't really have a solution for his hip at all at the time. And then some miracle cure happened with him that allowed him to play again. But yeah, that's
constant injections.
Yeah. I mean, I get your cynicism, and we're all kind of there right now with you, so you're not alone.
This is the problem with the trust the process.
Yeah,
mentality is that he's like, oh, the players are coming out going, man, it'd be really nice if there were more American fans in the stands. And you have coach coming out and saying like, yeah, this college football thing, this is what I want. This is what I'd like to see more of, but with the men's national team.
Yeah.
But then you're experimenting. You're constantly, pushing things around and
Dicking
team's not
around.
playing well. All of a sudden, you're setting example and you're testing MLS guys who probably some of them definitely should not be there. Some of them probably shouldn't be there. And then we're like 4 windows out, and it's like, oh, trust the process. But then there are people that are just like, you know what, I'm fucking done. I'm done.
So, also, Americans love winners. That's why they come out in droves to watch the women's team.
Yeah.
They like winners. So go win, Poach. You go win, we watch. It's as simple as that, really. Yeah.
I will say too. Like, oh, sorry. Well, just one. No,
go ahead. Yeah.
I guess there's two quick things. Right. I think there's just been a really interesting trend going on Twitter with the whole MLS versus USMNT fans, right? And I say this as a Sounders fan. I think it's just it's so it's honestly just rage bait, but all of the Roldan advertising and stuff like that, like Jordan Morris years ago, it's just we're kind of seeing that again with Berhalter, Seb Berhalter and stuff like that. It's just I don't know. It gets tiring, but at the same time, it's I don't know.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen some of these guys already. We already know who Roldan is. And frankly, if you ask me, is he having a great season for the Sounders? Absolutely he is. He is definitely, but we already know who he is. So that was a wasted spot, in my opinion. You could have brought in Brett's dude at Chicago, somebody younger, tried them out. If you really want to throw spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks, pick somebody new and upcoming, not a guy that's in his 30s. And he did exactly pretty much. He didn't have an awful game in Japan. We were there live. I didn't think he was horrible, but is he the guy you're going to throw in and start or even play against Holland, as we keep bringing up? No, he's not. So there you go. All right, thanks,
Will.
man.
I've asked everybody else, Will, if you had to pick a letter to eat for the rest of your life, what are you picking?
D, bro. There's no other answer.
Yep.
I've been going against my own people too. So
fair enough. Yes. I went against mine. Mine are somewhere in D, the Germans. So.
D or A, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Depending, I guess, where in Germany you fall.
I think it almost splits Germany right down the middle. I can't see it real well, but it could. All right. Hey, well, thanks for coming on. Hang in there, brother.
Yeah, I'm going to try. Thanks, guys.
All right. Later,
Yeah,
Will.
man.
All
Okay.
right. Okay,
All
so
right,
that was an hour, I guess, right?
Yep.
All right.
Official, guys. It's official. The call-in show's over.
All right. Thanks
You can
to
see my
everybody.
tabs. I got plenty of things to talk about.
Yeah, we do. So we better hit those now. We got another hour to go.
I talked about Peter. This is actually from that interview, and I was like, "Oh, I'll listen to that interview." But then it was from a month ago. So he talks about promotion and relegation, why it's never going to work in MLS. And this is the same talk. We can run right through this because it's the same thing we always say too.
Yeah. Explain to me how you would go to an owner who spent $500 million for a franchise fee, and which, by the way, is like owning a McDonald's. Okay.
Yeah.
And another $500 million into a stadium, and another $100 million into a training center facility, and another $50 million on players. So let's just say he's got $1.2 billion in debt, or he might probably not in debt, but he's just spent that much. And what are you going to tell him a year from now? He's going to be relegated to the second division. How do you do that? You can't do it. And that's why USL even had some friction with their ownership folks, because they also had to pay some amount to get into the league later on. The later ones did, not the original ones. So, yeah, of course, people hate losing money, man.
I'll say this much. To this point, it's the same thing we say, and the same thing Wallace actually says too about this. Like, how are you going to convince these people who've invested all this money in there that they might get relegated? But I will counter one thing here: the $50 million into a stadium. they're not paying that.
No, 50 million
Some of them are.
on players.
500 million. Sorry, 500 million on the stadium.
Not that much.
They're not paying that.
No.
And even if you drop that down by a couple $100 million, the owners aren't paying for that. It's got to be falling on the
in some cases. In some cases, it's partially the taxpayers as well. So, yeah, I think saying 500 million for a stadium, not true. That's way too much. It's about probably closer to 200 million. Not to say that's a drop in the bucket, but if we're going to have this debate, might as well be accurate, right?
Yeah.
All right.
And it's an interesting thing because if you are a billionaire and you're looking to invest in soccer at this point in the United States,
yeah,
and you have a bunch of billionaire other billionaire friends or high millionaire friends, and I don't know, if you really want to make an easy and quick splash, you could really just splurge into the USL at a cheaper rate, fight for that D1 status, and then you're there, right?
Yeah, we'll see how that happens for USL. I'm kind of excited if it does all work out and there is promotion and relegation to see how that might change the way we view USL. I don't know if it will or not. I'm not sure about that. I think most Americans who are casuals who watch a lot of European soccer, like my parents, I mean, every morning when I'm there over the weekends, I wake up for breakfast. What are they watching? They're watching the Premier League. Okay. So they know all those teams. They know the players. But MLS, they're not interested. USL, they're not interested in that either. They want to watch the very best. So that's them. They're not a reflection of everybody. But I do know that my brother used to watch MLS when it was free and on normal television. He's not buying Apple, right?
No.
He's not going to do that. But if there's nothing else on a Tuesday, Wednesday night, he'd watch MLS. No NFL on. He doesn't really follow baseball. He's a hockey fan and he loves tennis. But, he'll watch soccer if it's on. So, but it's not on. So there you go. That's kind of a problem. Anyhow.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the issue that's always been holding back because Lawless always talks about building a better mousetrap. Well, the issue, I mean, quite frankly, the issue with leagues like USL or even NASL before that, not even before that, but during that, the most recent NASL attempt, is that there was nowhere to go. You were stuck in this lower division where even soccer fans would look and say, they're semi-pro. Oh no,
yes.
USL Championship and their League One are legit professionals who get paid. They're not semi-pro. USL 2 is semi-pro league, but you're still looking at Division 2, Division 3, and you're going, wow, these are like AAA baseball. It's not real soccer.
Yep.
So that's why I'm like, if USSF drops their ridiculous requirements for what classifies as Division 1 and lets somebody compete against MLS and see what happens.
We'll see. It sounds like, with the way USL framed that whole move to D1 was, we're not really competing against MLS. Yes, you are. Don't lie. I love that. We're worried about ourselves. We're not worried about them. We're not competing with them. Yes, you are, dude. Yes, you are eventually. And I guarantee you MLS thinks you're competing with them. Guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Yeah. So if you're USL, you don't want to just come out and say, we're going to be competing with the likes of MLS, and then come Open Cup, they keep getting curb stomped, even though they're competing against them. They probably are just lessening expectations at first as far as what they're wanting to do. Hey, let's stabilize this concept first, and then we'll look at possibly overthrowing the king.
David D says AAA is Def Pros. Brett, he's right about that. AAA baseball is pro. Yep.
I know it's the same mentality as I'm saying though.
Yeah, but he's talking about the mentality, not so much. Like my dad thinks of MLS, he thinks it's like just this lower rate league, and he's not going to watch that.
Yeah.
And I've told him no. There's some. He's like, but I don't care. I don't know any of those players.
If you think about that with MLS, you should come watch Indy 11 play. Whew.
But my dad's not invested He doesn't have a team in the Premier League. They just watch it in the morning because it's just a habit, and they enjoy watching it. That's it. They don't even have a dog in the fight. They don't. They seriously have no team they support.
They just want a good match.
Or they're just nice to me when I'm over, apparently. I don't know. We watch soccer in the morning because Derek's here. But no, they do it every morning. So
coming up here shortly, apparently the U20 roster has been announced to the players, but has not been released. So, as the prospects mentions here, USSF likes Fridays, so we'll see what happens tomorrow.
So, what's the upcoming U20 game? Is that a friendly? Is that a what is this?
Let's see.
If it's some friendly cup or something,
it's the World Cup, isn't it?
I thought it would be, but I have to ask.
It's the World Cup.
Okay, the U20 World Cup.
Yeah, they got games starting on the 27th, and we haven't announced a fucking roster yet. How's that working out?
Yeah, that's weird. That seems pretty late.
Good Lord. Are they going to be able to catch some plane in time?
And how many European guys are going to be allowed to leave and come play this? Because obviously you want the Alberts there, right? There's some other guys you should definitely call up that are playing in Europe that you want there, that are making strides. Maybe a Pinadath. I don't know. He seems to be doing all right.
Yeah.
But
here's another player that's interested about the U20s. And this might actually be a leak the more I think about this now. So Cole Campbell's really looking forward to it.
Well, hopefully he's picked.
It'd be nice.
We look at some of these youth rosters sometimes and we're like, there's like 2 European players on it or 3. And you're like, okay, there's a lot more youngsters playing in Europe right now than that. So why aren't they on the roster? I believe even homeboy Noah Kai Banks qualifies for this U20 World Cup. But are they going to let him go for it? I don't know. I suppose.
Spider says, does Albert play for the U20s? I thought he was U17. Yes, he is U17s, but that's not going to stop U20 call up if they want to make a call up.
Or Kevin Sullivan, same boat.
I mean, it's the same thing that happened with Sargent. Sargent starred for the U17s, and then the next month he played for the U20s.
Yep.
So
we'll see. Tony's a good call out, Fumar. So we'll see.
Hang on, real quick. Larry's actually in the backstage. I'm gonna bring him in real quick.
Okay.
What's up, Larry?
What's up? I got Miss Rachel in the background.
Oh, I heard her. That's awesome.
Say hey, buddy. What's going on? I was gonna cut a promo. I don't. This is awful. Oh my God. Brown was we should be on our hands and knees begging Brown.
Yes.
Same. We're pathetic. We're probably a 4th-tier team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's over with Brown as you would think, but
no, Germany's never going to touch him.
I mean, they might want to think about protecting him and keeping our grubby mitts off of him, but other than that would be a predatory cap. I don't think they necessarily need him right now, but he certainly looks like a potentially really good player. I don't know if he's German national team quality, but yeah. I mean,
he's certainly better than Pulisic.
Yeah. I mean, and Pulisic wouldn't play for the German national team.
No, currently, Nathaniel Brown is better than Pulisic.
Hard to compare sometimes. They play totally different positions.
Yeah, because CP's not in Champions League to compare. Is he in Europa Conference?
That is true. I guess that's a nice way of putting that. But, yeah, I don't know. They're totally 2 different players. Certainly Nathaniel Brown yesterday was absolutely fabulous. And I don't know how we're not noticing this. I'm going to guess we are. And hopefully we're doing something about it. At least something.
At least somebody has reached out, whether it was a like on an Instagram or whatever.
They have.
At least talk
he's
to him.
Gonna put CP to shame. Oh my god, they can't have him put Max to shame. Do you no one want?
No, here's the thing: if Nathaniel Brown does accept a call up to the United States national team, he wouldn't be taking the place over Pulisic. Pulisic would just shift over.
Yeah,
so you'd have the likes of
he's going to
Brown
take
and
where he's going to take the
Arfson spot. If we play 3 in the back, Nathaniel Brown plays left wing back. He's taking
Nathaniel
Arfson's
Brown.
spot.
As much as I love him, he's 132 pounds.
Well, that's true. I know you have a weight thing with players, so.
Well, I have a Panama tossing around our guys like ragdolls problem. We have United States has a Brendan Aronson we have a metronome problem. We just do. And it's I mean, we have people think it's acceptable to have Reem a center back that can't jump. Like, it's just the thugness that we used to have from, even 2002. I think we lost it around 2010.
Like Gooch and Dempsey.
Yeah, every player besides
Merritt.
We had some Boca. They're all dirty. Hey, where you going, buddy? He's mutinying. Yeah, we're soft. We're so soft, it's not funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is definitely the softest generation we've had. There's no doubt about that.
We're a little. Oh goodness, I'm a Jesse boy. I'll be Jesse's girl. I'm turning transgender for Jesse.
Okay, well, we better not go there, my brother.
All right.
Did you see that? Did you see who scored? Did you see Promise take that penalty versus PSV? 6'5" Canadian.
Yeah, don't really pay much attention to the Canadian players, to be honest with you, but I was obviously watching PSV for at least recently with Pepe and Dest, and neither of them really had a really great game, so kind of disappointing.
How are your Jamaica boys doing?
Jamaica's a lost. Jamaica's a lost cause.
Yeah,
they're so honestly, like we got so lucky. Ethan Pincock didn't show up in the away game we won against them because they wouldn't give him a ticket. It's not that they don't give you a ticket; they lie to your face that they sent you the ticket. It's lost in the mail, and when you get there, they'll give you they'll reimburse you for the ticket.
Yeah,
giving up on Jamaica.
Yeah, it's mostly an organizational issue for them and just getting their all heads in the same place. But I do have to say, I thought his name was Pinnock. I never heard him called Pincock. That sounds like
you're gonna criticize You're gonna criticize.
I think he was announcing it just how you say it on the show.
Okay,
Randy Moss.
It's a straight red card pronunciation.
Are you okay? Are you 11 Yanks? That's the most pretentious people when they sit there and they're so proud they can say European names correctly. It's like, I know you're not good at soccer when you do that.
They get it wrong.
I know you really like soccer. So. You're probably not even that smart either because you care so much about. Gosh, that's the most irritating thing.
All right. Well,
promise. No, I'm just telling you, Jesse. He's got this third. This is his third strike. 6'5". I think he's from Ghana. He's Canadian though. He put the PK in against I don't know that it's that Swiss team. But yeah, so the most dangerous is Jesse. Jamaica. At the end of the day, they're like actually corrupt. They'll steal. Yes. They loot the money. That's not done many other places.
Right, and because of that, in many ways, they've been sort of dysfunctional for a long time. Because on paper, they're a good team, or at least they should be, even if they've got Pincock. All right,
Tsunami. I'll let you go. Tsunami is the long run. That's my sleeper.
Suriname.
No. I said it correctly.
My God, Larry, I'm just trying to figure out what country you were talking about. I wasn't judging, believe me.
They're Dutch.
Yes, they are, and they're basically signing or recruiting a bunch of guys who had played youth Dutch soccer for the national team, but weren't good enough to make the big boy team, right? So there you go. Yeah, smart.
They got a Viking. They got a straight up Viking keeper.
Well, that ought to be maybe the only position that's probably going to be the case at. So,
hey, I'll take it easy.
All right, man. Take care, Larry.
We had Oscar jumping for a second, but they bounced.
Oh,
I'm not sure if he'll be back or not.
Yeah,
we must move on.
We must move on.
Keep moving. So Adam goes, This is in reference to Tillman. You always got to remind myself, success in Netherlands really isn't an absolute indicator.
No, it's not. And we saw that with a lot of other guys that have been there, including Josie. But I don't think we should be judging Tillman too quickly. Give him some time. He just got there. He
was pretty good in his first match, wasn't he?
He's not been bad in the Bundesliga, but that Champions League performance was piss poor.
Sure.
So, but then it was piss poor for a lot of the guys at Leverkusen. So then you have to ask yourself, why is the whole team bad? Right?
Yeah.
And sometimes that's on how they set up. That's coaching. That's the manager not putting him in the right spots or not setting up properly for the opponent. I don't know how much research they did on Copenhagen. I would imagine not much. So, Oscar thinks we kicked him out.
Oh, no, we didn't kick you. I brought you in, all of a sudden you bounced.
Yeah. We don't kick people out. All right, what else we got?
Jump back in. The link's still tagged up into the top, man, if you want to come in.
If you really want to, we're still open, I guess.
Stu Holden posted his starting 11 for the October window.
Well, I was telling Stu not long ago, I think we might be able to get along from here on out. And he said, yeah, he laughed and said, yeah, maybe we can. So maybe this is just more of that, right? This is his lineup, which I think is not bad, honestly. It's pretty decent.
I mean, I kind of expect it to be the case. Now, I don't know about Freeze. I don't know if
Freeze is good.
Where's New York in contention with playoffs? So I think New York's vying for a playoff spot, if I recall correctly.
I don't know if this is for October, though, is it?
That's what he said. That's what the thing says.
Okay.
Yeah, October window.
Well, he might not get Freeze right because he's just not going to be available because New York's going to make the playoffs. So,
well, I mean, that's because I think they're just on the outside looking in.
By the way,
New York's in fifth. What am I talking about? The Red Bulls are the ones that are outside looking in right now.
Right. Hey, Colin, Altidore never really actually ever officially announced his retirement, as far as I understand. So he's coming out of retirement. He's just coming out of a vacation, which is what he's been doing for a while because he was.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, Nick, what's up?
Nick?
Hi.
What's up?
Yeah. So, just so you guys know, I'm awesome reach in the chat. So whenever I comment, that's me.
Okay. Good to know.
Wait, what's the name of the chat?
Nick, can you hear us?
So I have a fun question, and then I have a more like soccer question.
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it, man.
So for the fun question, I heard you're German, Derek. So do you like Rammstein?
I just don't want to disappoint people, but I'm not a massive fan. Sorry.
You know, I love Rammstein, dude. I like Angel and like Sonne. Those are some good songs, man.
I have listened to it. I'm not saying it's all bad. I would say my exposure level to Rammstein is pretty limited. Let's just put it that way. Pretty limited. I don't have a whole lot of rabbit hole hours for Rammstein. So my bad on that one. That's on me mostly. I haven't done my proper exploration of the band.
I only know the one song that was popular stateside.
Yeah. And I am a music snob, correct?
Very much so.
Yeah. So,
I heard you guys like rock music, and I was like, hey, you could maybe have a conversation with Ramsey. I like all kinds of rock music, dude, but
Yeah. Well, there's the Scorpions, right? And what was the other one? Accept. Remember that? Balls to the Walls. Remember that band? You got your balls to
Oh, that's
the
a little
walls,
before my
man.
time.
Yeah,
Who
I'm
sang,
old.
99 Red Balloons?
99 Luftballons. Yeah. Those are going back to the 80s, so I don't blame you if you don't know those, Nick.
Yeah. So anyway, so the soccer question I was going to ask is, I watched Yanks Abroad, and he mentioned that in the tactics, sometimes what Poch likes to do is he likes to have the 4-2-3-1 and then have the center defensive mid drop into the back three. And I was thinking, like, what if we like played Tessman there and then have him drop into that back three, and then we just have like A-Rob and Des just bomb forward?
I don't think that's a bad idea because we do see Adams drop back into that back two to make it a back three. But I do honestly think, based on what we just saw in the last two games, the end of the Korea game and the entire Japan game, he might be settling for a back 3/5 going forward.
And I'll say the Adams bouncing back into the back to make a back three. In that sense, he doesn't stay there. He just backs up. He collects the ball and then he moves forward.
Yeah.
We're talking about this last show, Derek, but there were a number of times that I remember Adams getting too high up. Whereas when he plays for Bournemouth, he has a very specific role, and that's disrupt their attack. And
Pure destroyer. Yeah. He did a lot of dropping back in the Japan game and getting possession and trying to start something, which, as you know, is not really his thing. So
yeah, I'm not a big fan of Adams dropping back. I'd rather have Tessman or Cardoso. Those two guys could do it.
I think there are a lot of people, Colin, other people in the chat who probably would agree with that. In the end, if you have a back three, it is one extra defender, center back on the field in a position where we're not really that deep, but it does seem to work with Poch's system so far. At least the players look more comfortable playing it. So we'll see what he does. I imagine against unequal opposition, where we are obviously the better team, we may see 4-2-3-1 again. But against teams we're maybe not as good as technically, we may see a back three again as well. Which
like I like the idea of a 4-2-3-1 and then you smoke screen into that 3-4-2-1, and especially in possession. Like you have like Tessman drop into the back, or Tessman or Cardoso drop into that back three with Richards and Ream, and then you have like Dest and A-Rob bomb forward, and they would probably join like Reyna and Pulisic up top with Balogun. That's a pretty dangerous attack right there. I think if I'm another country, I'd be pretty scared of that.
Well, we got to give Reyna time, but could be. At least he said that he's been in whatever nominal touch he is with Poch. At the same time, we saw some good stuff with a 4-2-3-1 against Jamaica early on with Poch, and we were lauding it. We were like, this is the closest to total football we've seen. It wasn't positional football. Everybody was switching positions. We saw Jedi playing left wing, center, defensive midfielder. We saw him go as high as into the box. Yeah, it's crazy. So I'd like to see more of that, but we've never really got back to that. Since
I know that one game, it was like amazing, and then just I don't know what happened, man.
I think what happened was Poch joysticked it a little too much because he even said prior going into those games he hasn't had any time to work with these guys on tactics. So he just put out a lineup and said, "Go play for each other, switch, play free," and they went out and did the business. So maybe the answer is to get out of their way, because that is certainly what the coach right before him did, not Berhalter, but the other one that we all like so much that's kicking ass at Nashville does. So,
yeah, like no offense, but he needs to start calling in those pretty below average MLS guys. Like those guys just don't cut it, man. Like we need those guys from Europe, those guys who are able to play on the ball and like make something happen, Those guys from MLS, they play with a lot of heart, a lot of hustle, but they don't bring anything on the ball. They always just get like dispossessed, or they make a poor decision in passing all the time.
I mean, we saw that with Roldan. He'd have great moments and then good moments, and then he gave the ball away a lot in Japan.
The ball. Yeah, he's bad on the ball.
So, there are issues.
We were sitting there watching, me, Derek, and my friend Chad were sitting there watching the game live, and we were sitting there like, Chad's like, Roldan's got like 2 good progressive passes a half.
Yeah.
And aside from that, it's backwards lateral or nothing at all. And we're like, then a pass kind of goes forward. I'm like, was that his progressive pass?
Yeah.
Oh, but he runs, guys. He runs.
Oh, he did run like a banshee in that game for sure. Yeah.
Which is funny because I remember less than 20 minutes into the game, Derek looks over and he goes, dude, Roldan's gassed. He's gassing.
He looked gassed.
I'm sure he is after like 60 minutes, probably. Like
he looked gassed after 30 minutes. Yeah, he was tired because he was running so much. It was crazy, but yeah. Anything else, Nick? I hope you're well.
Oh yeah, I'm well, man. The last thing I'll say is it's gonna be interesting to see Reyna versus Tillman at the 10 in the Bundesliga playing for the same level teams. It's gonna be very interesting. I'm gonna see like whoever has like more assists to whoever's the assist machine. I think we should call them in to be the starter. So that's gonna be an interesting race.
It's really going to depend on who's coming in as a manager because we have a Gio article that talks about the 3 options that Gladbach's looking at.
Yeah.
One of them is no bueno.
Could be Matarazzo. We'll see what happens there. But it is, if we do go to that back 3, the idea and the way at least Poach plays it with 2 10s instead of 2 wingers because he lets the wingers take all the space on the wings. So, we could need 2 10s. We could see both of them maybe, but I doubt it because Pulisic will have to play one of those 2 10 spots.
Yeah.
So it's a battle between Tillman and Reyna, maybe up until the World Cup. Of course, not quite yet. And even Reyna said he's got some things to prove yet. And then he'll be in touch with the team and we'll see what happens from there. And I think based on his first game, he looks rather comfortable again. So hopefully.
Yeah, like I think Tack mentioned that he wanted a 3-4-1-2 formation, but I'm like, I think we need 2 creators behind the striker. I don't think we can get away with 1. So I think if we have 2 creators behind the striker, that's better. Yep. So I don't know why Tack was saying a 3-4-1-2. I would say like a 3-4-2-1. So
let's empty bucket it.
I mean, no, that's not happening. But you know what? I understand what Tact is saying there. I agree with you. It's more likely and it's better for the team to have 2 10s than for the transition. And if you got Balogun up top, it really forces guys to have to watch their lanes when they're playing defense. So I think that looks like a really good setup so far, and we'll see, how that works out going down the road in October, especially. So
awesome, man! Yeah, I can't wait. Right. I'm excited. Listen to some Ramstein, man.
All right, I will go down that rabbit hole.
That's a good band.
I promise. All right.
All right, man.
Later.
Absolutely, man. Got a text message from the wife, and it's a picture of my wallet with all my cash out of it. And she says, Charlie also has your car keys.
What the hell is this, a robbery?
And then I said, so long as it all goes back in and back on the island. And she goes, I told her there's $71, and she said, how are we going to split it?
It is robbery. Oh, my God. By the way, Reyna still didn't really sprint that much, and you don't need to. Where he plays at Gladbach, his position doesn't really require him to sprint, but he made some runs. I did not time them, so I'm not sure how fast they will.
And oddly enough, as we're going to get into a topic here, he made some really good recoveries too, like coming back, being the first person back to get the ball, breaking up the attack. So Derek Ray posted an article on ESPN about Gio and the club situation and whether or not the new coach is going to be a blessing or a curse. So here are the names. You want to read this?
Yeah, Polanski promoted from coaching the under-23s will get a chance to prove himself, but the fixture list facing him is brutal. An emboldened Leverkusen on Sunday. I don't know about that. They did not look good recently, not in the Champions League. On Sunday, followed by Eintracht Frankfurt, who had a really good day today, or yesterday. Was it today? Might have been yesterday. And Freiburg. Freiburg's had a good start to the season, but I'm not really sure they're the firebrands you think they are. Verkus says they'll also simultaneously assess the market and names such as Italian-American Pellegrino Matarazzo, former Dortmund coach Terzic, and ex-Union Berlin tactician Urs Fischer have been bandied about. Well, we'll see what happens.
Could you imagine Gio getting screwed royally? Makes the move to Gladbach away from Dortmund. He gets Terzic again.
God help us, no.
Oh my God, that's
no,
rough.
no Terzic, please. Thank you.
Welcome back, Oscar.
Hey, how you doing, fellas?
Oh, I heard that fresh crack. How's it going, man?
Doing pretty well. Just got back from the gym for a little bit, and it's funny because I normally listen to you guys kind of spread out throughout the in between to the next show or throughout the week or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm always playing catch up, and so I hop on today, and I was like, "What the hell is this link?" Click on it. Like, oh, okay, they're doing the call in. Yeah.
Our once a month thing.
It
Yeah.
was funny because I clicked on you, and then all of a sudden you disappeared, and it was like, maybe he wasn't ready yet.
Yeah. No. My something's up with the network here, but
sound clear to me right now, though. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had to switch from the phone to the iPad. And I think that kind of messed it up for us, but
yeah. So what's on your mind, man?
Not much. So I'm in Houston. USMNT coming over here to Q2, right, in Austin. And so I'm kind of thinking of going. It's going to be a pretty chill weekend for me, at least, that Friday. I think it falls on a Friday. And so I'm off that Friday just for whatever. I got something going on in the morning. And I was like, man, I can probably head out there. Austin is about maybe a 3-hour drive, hauling ass down in Texas, pretty quick speed limits. And so just kind of debating. I don't know. If you or me, would you do it?
I mean, we just
did it.
We just did it. Yeah. We were in Columbus.
Would you do it again? Well, I guess the thing
maybe not to Columbus. Again.
Cincinnati, maybe.
Cincinnati, Chicago. Why not here in Indy? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing that's kind of motivated me the most, I guess, is that apparently they might be bringing a lot of the European guys.
There will be there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't had a chance to see a lot of them live. I did go to the Gold Cup final. Was it the Gold Cup final with Mexico down here in NRG?
Yeah.
Really good vibe, but yeah, I mean, it was a shitty game. I wasn't gonna go the whole time. I was like, I'm not gonna go watch this shit. I was watching the Gold Cup the whole time, but I literally caved in like a day before because I saw some pretty cheap tickets. I mean, they weren't cheap, but they were relatively okay for some club seats on the kind of sideline.
Yeah.
And so I caved and I bought them. The next day, man, I fucking regretted it. They weren't all that. It was horrible, man. It was like Mexico was just on this side, the ball was on that side, wherever they were attacking, and that's just trying to transition quick and doing absolutely nothing. And so that's kind of what's motivating me is the fact that it's going to be more of the A guys maybe. I don't know in whose eyes, Poach's, ours, but
I think we have a pretty good idea that we'll be seeing probably Cardoso if he's healthy, and McKennie, and of course Adams, Pulisic, not Hajiman, Tillman, maybe Reyna if he's had 2 or 3 more games since. I don't know if he can. Yeah, he could. He could have 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Pepe will be back. On defense, we might see a CCV again or maybe a McKenzie because I don't think the guys that he's interested in MLS will be available. They'll be in the playoffs. I don't think there's a whole lot of options. The only real option is goalkeeper, and that's Matt Turner because the Rebs blow. They blow balls, so he'll be there probably. And I don't know if he's got to call some non-MLS goalkeepers, maybe Klinsmann again, and Horvath. God help us, why not? If he's playing all right, so yeah.
So, are we close to about 100% sure that this is going to be the squad? Because man, if I would get over there and then I see something similar to what I saw over here,
well, don't hold us accountable for it. I mean, that's what Poach said.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not playing the MLS guys in October because they're in the playoffs. And almost every player he called up is in the playoffs. So I'm
with you.
Yeah. So I think either if he's lying, that's going to be on him. You call him up for that one. Don't blame us.
Yeah. No, it was funny. The first time. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying you can only go off of his word at that point.
Yeah.
Now it's funny. The only time that the thing that kind of got my attention, I didn't even know they were coming, was when you guys. I think Brett, you brought it up. You brought up ticket prices. Like I don't remember what episode it was, and
numerous.
It was either last show or last Thursday. Yeah, I remember.
You actually pulled up the seating chart view. I think on Q2, and I was like, oh shit, that's not bad. I was like 100, or I think Yeah, something like that. $100 for nice little sideline view.
Yeah,
if you can get the early tickets before they start selling out, yeah. The problem is that people wait a couple weeks before the game, and all of a sudden, the only thing left is the verified resellers.
We're unknowingly selling U.S. men's national team tickets for U.S. soccer. We didn't even know that.
For real.
Yeah, they send us some money.
Yeah, and I'll probably pull up with a couple dudes. Some Mexican background, some El Salvador, most El Salvadorian background, and hey, man, we're all USMNT. There's a lot of us like that, you know.
They are nice.
Yeah, I see a lot of that these days. I see a lot of people even flying like split flags sometimes at the games nowadays. I saw one or two of them at the Japan game where it was half American flag, half Japanese flag. Yeah.
I
always think back at the it was one of the Nations League games, I believe. And it was a game that Pepe scored, I believe. And there's a kid that's wearing like a Mexico jersey, but he's got like an American flag headband on. And Pepe scores, and he's like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was the funniest thing watching.
The kid that took off the shirt. Yeah.
Yes. That was great. Yeah.
That shit was that was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you shape the generations, though. You know, that's how you get them. You got to get them early. You got to get them while they're dreaming. And so they dream in that shirt, not any other color. But,
yeah, no, I agree. And it's okay to have some sort of, some people have split allegiances. But I know, like, you're talking about my mom, who's German. Yeah, she's rooting for Germany. But if United States is playing Germany, she's rooting for the United States. So,
oh, nice.
That's how it goes. Because this is her home now, and this is her country, and this is where she's been, for the last 60 years of her life. So,
for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
For sure.
All right. Hey, man, anything else you want to add?
Nah, man, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, same here, brother.
Appreciate y'all. Hey, appreciate y'all hanging in there this rough summer.
Yeah, it was rough indeed. Yeah.
For real. Thanks.
All right. Take care, Oscar.
Later.
Man.
Later, man. Derek's mom is a traitor, says BMR. She's not. She's like, she runs red, white, and blue pretty deep. So she, of course, is going to support Germany in the Euros, of course. Yeah. But whenever the U.S. plays Germany, it's U.S. first. So I guess she's a traitor to Germany would be the but she's been an American citizen since she was 22 years old. So I think that makes her pretty American at this point. So
I just wanted Derek Ray does go on to talking about the different styles of the coaches that Gio may have to play with.
Yeah.
And a couple things. And, he talks about Terzic sees Gio as an impact off the bench type of, rather than a starter. That might change, being that he was playing for Dortmund at the time compared to Gladbach now.
Right. Different. Talent pool. Right.
Yeah. Matarazzo might seem like someone who would be on the face of it more sympathetic towards Reyna, but the fact is that Matarazzo has no allegiance to making sure that Gio performs so he can perform for the national team. Basically, he has no allegiance to the national team right now. He's going to have to go out there and put the team that he wants to play, and that might not necessarily include Gio.
He wants to win, and I think actually Terzic might not be as bad as we think. Being that Terzic will take over that team and go, I don't have any Dortmund players on this team except for Nathaniel Brown. Except for
Giovanni Reyna.
Reyna, right. So I'm not I don't have any problem starting Reyna for this team because I know who he is. So it might not be horrible any way you cut this. Polanski, he obviously
being brought in from the U23s, he's basically saying that he might be the best fit for Gio because he was part of the group that got together to bring Gio into the team.
Well, the key thing here is for all of this is Polanski knows this is a limited Mönchengladbach squad, and Reyna is one of the few bright lights. So I think all of them will know that, and I think he'll play regardless. So I think we're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. I brought this up because here's a Manchester United a person who's basically saying Pochettino is part of the list of candidates to replace.
Give me a fucking break. If he quits now, he is a phony. He is definitely a phony if he quits now. Yes.
Oh, that's fun. See
Yep.
here. Let me see what I got next.
And you know what? I don't really have a problem with why. I don't know why Eric has a big problem with her calling him a phony. I don't know. I mean, I think what he's saying is that he's Poach saying one thing and doing another, and then contradicting himself constantly. And in that way, that is perfectly fine to say somebody's a phony, because he's saying one thing like, "Oh, friendlies always matter. When I play for the national team, every game mattered." Now he's saying, "No, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that we win in the World Cup." Like, that's phony. Like, when you change your opinions overnight about certain things, yeah, that seems kind of phony. I have no problem with Herc saying that, and I don't know why Eric has a problem with it, but all right. 9 months.
I mean, Eric and Herc have a history.
I know they don't get along, which is why Eric was giving us shit for having Herc on the show, which we're going to have.
More than welcome to always come back, buddy.
Yeah, no, he knows that. He knows that.
Yeah.
He knows
Yeah.
that. 9 months until the World Cup. What were the U.S. men's national team's September lessons?
This is a Doug McIntyre article, and it's a long article. So I went through and I snipped about 3
Thank
quarters.
God you did. Yes.
It just keeps going and going and going. I mean, there's a lot of pictures in there too, but let's go ahead and start hammering down this article of his.
I think the only thing that irritated me mostly about the article is that Roldan is indeed competing with McKennie for a midfield spot. Like, really? Is he? That's the only part I really was like, are we? What? We
can't have him on the show itself because he goes live.
His show's on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. His show's on right now when our show's on.
Unless we dual broadcast, right? That's the only way we can do it. No, we're gonna have him on a different day and just record it. That'd be good. We need some recorded content on here as well.
Yeah. All right. When we arrived, it's because something was wrong, Pochettino said to himself and his longtime backroom staff. We listened to a lot of people talking inside and outside U.S. Soccer Federation that something needs to change. We need a new face, a new philosophy, a new ideas and culture. Somebody said that. You were talking here in the USA about this. We weren't talking necessarily about, okay, maybe the culture in the sense that the players have taken over the team, and that Berhalter even himself admitted that he thought things had gotten too loosey-goosey. He said it himself.
Yeah.
It's not an exact quote, but that's what he said. So if that's what he's talking about, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's I guess my initial thought process was a culture, and I hear that and I think of an identity of the team itself, where we always talk about we used to have a national identity with the national team until Klinsmann came and uprooted that, and then it's been Berhalter, and that was different than Klinsmann, and now Poach is here. Well,
and again, as you said earlier, Klinsmann went back to the identity that we had.
But you brought up culture, and you were talking about the way the players are, were kind of like how they addressed the camps and how, everything was loosey-goosey and stuff like that. And that's probably a more likely what he's referring to here is the culture, the philosophy of how we're addressing each camp. When you guys come in here, it's business. This is the national team. If you want to see your friends and family and it's during the summer, go after the window. Spend another 3 or 4 days stateside and then fly back.
You want to play golf? Go play golf on your own time, not here while we're in camp.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but like I said, Berhalter, in one of his interviews in Columbus, said the same thing, that he did feel like at the end he had kind of lost control of the situation a bit. And and guys know when that happens. If you're a teacher and you have a class and you set standards, and then at some point the standard changes and you've lost the classroom and nobody is listening to you anymore, which happens to some teachers because you haven't upheld the standards. Yes. Or maybe your standards were pretty lax to begin with. And so now somebody's come along and told you need to have higher standards and your classroom needs to look like this. And you're like, oh my God. And so you try to do it and you can't, because it's already been set. The standard's already been set. You can't change. You've already developed the culture of the classroom, and it's lax and it's not focused and it's a mess. So those are those teachers that we have to send to Discipline with Dignity schools so they can learn how to manage a classroom or figure out how to manage a classroom they've absolutely lost control of, which is always, in a way, in the Army, they always say to sergeants and commanders, start off hard, start off aggressive, start off with high standards. You can't start off soft and then try to go hard. You cannot do that. You got to start off hard. That sounds really perverted.
And stick it to them. Stick it to them hard. No. To jump off your analogy as far as the classroom and stuff like that, and teacher and everything like that. Poach at this point is doing, just the setting the examples and stuff like that is the equivalent of him going up to the light switch and flickering lights on and off to get the attention of the classroom again.
Yeah, right. And then you've lost it if that's what you need to do. Yeah. It's like parenting too. Start off with really high standards and it's good. You start off trying to be your best friend, you got an issue. Mm-hmm. Don't start off trying to be your kid's best friend.
Well,
That's not going to turn out well.
I don't know if I've got the quote where Poach talks about this, but he actually quoted saying that a lot of the players saw Berhalter as a father figure.
Father figure, yes. Depends on what kind of father they thought he was, but
I see Berhalter as the buddy father that doesn't want to punish his kids.
Well, I can tell you this: there's no more player council, and the players have almost zero sway on what goes on, and they're not getting a call every week and a half, 2 weeks from their coach anymore. Now, you can say that seems excessive, and it might be, but even the players admitted after Berhalter left, they needed a swift kick in the ass. So they're getting it, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Let's see. There was also disorder behind the scenes. Key veteran Weston McKennie arrived at pre-Copa camp noticeably unfit, according to multiple sources. Berhalter still started him for all 3 group stages and 2 friendlies beforehand, to the chagrin of teammates.
Yep.
So I guess some teammates may have been vocal behind the scenes saying, dude, this motherfucker shouldn't have started all 5 games.
Props to Doug McIntyre for using the word chagrin, a very not much used word any longer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like we said earlier in the show, I think we were maybe talking to Fumar about this and everything like that. We talked about it at the window. It was coming up. I'm like, dude, Weston needs to lose like 5-10 pounds immediately.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
And that's, we always talk about it. Which Weston are we going to get? Are we going to get the fit and informed Weston who comes in absolute balls? Or are we going to get the out of shape and sluggish Weston that can still do some things, but more often than not be a factor?
That's the window where he did the shower commercial with Adams. Remember that?
Yeah, unfortunately.
And you're like, oh boy, moobs. All right.
Oh man.
All right. Maybe keep more of those clothes on. Weston. All right.
That was a great idea. Hey, let's do a commercial in the locker room shower.
Yeah. With a naked McKennie. I'm sure he's wearing it. I guess he was probably wearing a towel or whatever. American player pool during USMNT January training camp, which consisted mostly of out-of-season MLS players, and he liked what he saw, especially off the field. Team first underdogs, desperate to represent their country and earn consideration for the World Cup, staged on American soil. Some of these players, Akiman, Diego Luna, maybe. Max Arson, could be backup. Jack McGlynn, had a good start. Have become regulars. I don't know if they're regulars yet. We only know that after October.
2 windows. We're talking about 2 windows here since the January window.
How can he say that Patrick Agyemang has become a regular? I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
I think he's going to be more regular than Josh Sargent at this point.
Yes, mostly because he takes a lot of Metamucil. But I think in general, that's because of Josh fucking up his chances. So not coming into ball.
Yeah.
So I don't know how guaranteed any of this is.
I think I can't do it. especially off the field. You know, the team first, underdogs desperate to represent their country and earn consideration. I think that's absolutely something Poach is looking for when he comes to these players.
That's true.
But
Yes.
he wants it out of his A team. And that's why coming up here, I don't know, it'll be one of these quotes when he talks about the Canada match, and he was furious.
Yes.
Furious with his players.
Didn't show it in the interview, but yes, was furious in the locker room. With just 2 training sessions to prepare, the U.S. had to hit ground running. It was Tyler Adams' first camp under Poach, but the 2022 World Cup captain still felt it was his team. The Argentine quickly reminded Adams that this is his, that his was a new regime. It was like, you're not my captain yet, according to one source. Ream has worn the armband in 14 to 18 games under Poach so far. Yeah, I don't know what he ever had against Adams. I don't think he's one of the golf guys, and I don't think he's one of the chuckleheads. So I'm kind of surprised that he bore some wrath. But obviously, Adams since has been sort of a voice box for Poach's regime. So he's fully on board, and I fully imagine
during the summer window especially, yeah.
Yeah, so I think he's got Adams by the nutsack at this point.
He basically paraphrased this aspect right here, that this was a new regime. This is, hey, if you can't do what Poach is asking you to do, you may not be on the team anymore.
That's what he said.
Paraphrasing, of course. Yeah.
Paraphrasing Poach is what he's doing there.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you read this.
All right. While he struck a conciliatory tone in his post-game, here it is right here, his post-game press conference, even apologizing for the loss to Canada, Pochettino was privately, one source described as furious with his team.
Yes.
It was a big wake-up call, Pochettino said last week about the March window, noting that the team lost despite the presence of its biggest names. We need to call the players that can perform. All that happened in March helped a little bit to realize that the most important thing is the national team. This, he added, pointing to the U.S. crest, is most important than any single name. Or is more important. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah. We said it at the time, punishment was coming, so it happened. So yep.
Yeah. And of the names that were making the transition from that March to the Gold Cup roster, what did you have? You had Ream, Richards, Adams. Was going to be Pulisic, but then Pulisic said, "Hey, yo, bro, I need a break."
Yeah, and Musa.
Probably Musa too, but he is also one that said, "Hey, for other reasons, couldn't make it."
Right, we don't know what those were.
Yeah. So, 5 players from January, roughly speaking.
Yeah.
Did anybody else come? Maybe Turner, I think, was there. But then again, we're lacking of goalkeepers, so of course.
Yeah, goalkeepers always don't even talk about it because it's like we'll take whoever we can get at this point. So, yeah, I mean, this is none of this is. We're reading this. It's not surprising.
Yeah.
So.
Like I said, he was pissed, and he made an example and drove it home in the September, and we'll see what happens moving forward.
Yep. Same for Gio Reyna, who some speculated could be released from international duty with his days coming to an end at Dortmund. But they never even asked Dortmund. But why would they? He's not playing. I guess you would if you were if your Poach personally invested in Reyna, which obviously he is not. Then why would he call him? He's not playing. So Poach has different standards than Berhalter. Berhalter would have called him. Poach will not. Poach is saying, I don't know. You show me something. What am I supposed to call you up? For what reason? Because you're not playing. So there you go. Higher standards, I guess.
Yeah. As long as they go across the board.
Your turn.
Oh, you just you're cherry picking the small ones, aren't you?
I am.
Pochettino also warned if we want to be good in 1 year's time, 2026, we need to think that today is the most important day. Pochettino wanted Adams, Richards, and especially Pulisic at the Gold Cup, so he was blindsided when a U.S. soccer official informed him that Pulisic wanted to skip the U.S. men's national team's last competitive tournament before the all-important event main event 2026.
Mhm.
It probably didn't help that the call came from Pulisic's agent and was delivered through an intermediary. Pulisic eventually explained his position on the CBS podcast. An attempt to damage control backfired when he said he didn't understand why Pochettino wanted him for the whole summer, not just the pre-Gold Cup tune-ups against Turkey and Switzerland.
I think this is really funny because this is just okay. So if Poach isn't going to call me personally and have this discussion about me being called up, then I guess I'll just let my agent handle it because we're not talking. So I'll just have my agent handle this deal, which is horrible. You want the best player talking to your manager. Like, I get it. Poach doesn't want to show favoritism to any player. But, if you really want him that bad, give him a call up and say, listen, this is different. I think you need to come for the Gold Cup this year, and here's why. Make your case.
Spitballing potential ideas here. Do you think this is just a passive way that Pulisic wanted to avoid any form of confrontation?
I just think that if the coach doesn't call and talk to you anyhow, it's just easier to have your agent deal with it.
You would have been funnier than having his agent call would be having his dad call.
Oh, that would have been horrible. I know.
Man.
But I think that this is on both these guys. Like, it's obvious that Poach has a disconnect with the players as far as regular contact. And so the players are reciprocating and saying, well, you're not going to talk to me about it anyhow, so I'm just going to send the message. And then he had a talk with the assistant coaches later, did Pulisic, after his agent made that. They called him, wasn't Poach. And he said, this is what I'd like to do. And then they went to Poach, and Poach said, hell no. We're not doing Turkey and Switzerland. Either you come for the whole thing or not. So there you go. But It's horrible to see this lack of connection and communication. It's just, and that led to the whole fucking ridiculous, debate and discussion, and if you want to call it a controversy.
The docu-series, no.
It should have never have happened if they were just talking to each other one-on-one, which I don't think is that difficult to do, but that's me. All right. Couple more, it looks like.
Last one.
All right, last one. The most important thing is the process, Poach said. It's about the players really believing in what we are doing, how they respect us, and how we respect them. Okay, it's reciprocal. It's something that Poach has created out of necessity and almost out of thin air. Out of thin air. Boy, that's a condemnation of the Berhalter era. We're going to have the best players at the World Cup, and the players that maybe are not here today will have the possibility to come back. It's about giving them time to process, and the process is going to work for sure. Well, good. I don't have any doubt. All right. Well, we're back to the big, bold. What happened to the Spanish interview where he's like, well, I can't score the goals. I can't play defense. Now it's back to we're gonna be great again. Okay.
Yeah. Right. I mean, they're going into the September roster with half of a Gold Cup squad and half of a Euro squad. Some big names missing out there, and they're asking questions, and he's like, I can't defend those games. I can't score goals.
Yep.
But he's back on the hype train because he realizes by the time 2026 comes around, he's going to have predominantly an A squad with maybe, not counting goalkeepers, maybe like 3 Poach favorites that aren't from Europe.
Yeah,
and that could be Zendejas too. I'm saying non-Euros.
Oh, I think he really likes Zendejas.
Yeah,
and so
I agree.
That's not really an MLS player. So
that's what I'm saying. I mean, like non-Euros, it's going to have 3 favorites that are non-Euros. Prediction.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good prediction. I think based on the way Zendejas played, say in the same 10 spot versus Luna, I think Luna might have lost his spot, honestly, because I think Zendejas showed another level where I think Luna's still working for A, consistency, and B, reaching that next level. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, and on top of that, Zendejas can also play the outside on the 4-2-3-1 if Poach goes back to that.
If he goes back to it, yeah.
Depending on who we're playing and stuff.
Yep, I absolutely agree.
So,
all right, Brett, do you have
right
to,
there.
do you have to pee, or do I have to do a normal exit?
You do your normal exit this time.
Okay.
I only had but one bev today, so we're good.
It's a behind the scenes joke. All right. Anyhow, for all of you that came out tonight, we do appreciate it, especially our caller inners. That's a weird word. Our caller inners. Those of you that called in, how's that? We will be back on Monday. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the games. Let's, I don't know, hope for a great comeback weekend and hope that Reyna's really good. That's what I'm looking for. I know I am sort of a Reyna, apologist. So I'm looking forward to every Mönchengladbach game, and I'm not going to miss a single one of them.
I think I was talking to Chambers, and he's like, 2 players and an American coach is not going to make me want to watch Gladbach. I'm like, I'm just going to watch it because Gio's finally going to get to play. After 3 years of not really playing, he's finally going to be able to play. I'm going to watch every fucking Gladbach match.
I watched every Scally match anyhow last season. So now I got even more incentive to continue to watch, because watching Scally at Gladbach, frankly, is not that exciting because he just plays defense, and that's about it. That's all he does. All right, we'll be back, guys. Have a great night.
That hurt.
Blowjobs are a no for me.
It is a skill. It is a practice skill. It is a necessary skill.
The secret to a great blowjob is saliva, saliva, saliva.
It's important for us to learn from this, because I think we lose because we beat ourselves.
You need to swallow it too.
I understand the problem here.
The people don't understand esophagus is the main player of the game.
Try to stay away from it as much as I can.
You can start by licking the dip.
I didn't understand it, but
Patrick Agyemang to Bambi or a newborn giraffe or whatever.